Now we are looking at the soul of the language. This is an important chapter to understand why Python has become so famous and why we are using Python. We start with functional language. Now there are two types of language. One is object-oriented and one is functional. An object-oriented language like Java or C++ focus on objects. They try to assemble everything into an object. So, for example, if you want to say eye colors are black, eye color equal to black, they won't allow you to do that unless you define a whole object, like object human, human has an eyes, that's a class, that's a variable, the type of variable, and so on. So that's the object-oriented world. In Python or in JavaScript or other functional language, you can define everything on the go, and you're not defining classes that often. You're not defining object. You're defining functions. A class may be called a collection of function and variables, which object-oriented programming languages forces you to make. So even if you want to display hello world, you have to make a class in Java. But Python, we are going to do more with functions and passing function as an argument and playing around with functions and using functions in unique ways, whatever ways possible. So we are not building classes, we are building functions, and that's why it's called a functional language. When I call interpreted language, I would say that Python tries to interpret and sometimes over-interpret what you want to do. So that's why it's called interpreted language. Like if you ask Python to multiply a string and a number, Python would do that and print the number 10 times. But other programming language would give you an error and say that no, that's a rule that we don't multiply characters with numbers and so on, different ways. Wherever the Python developers thought that they could make a smart guess of what you want to do, they have moved ahead and chosen that stuff. Python is also loosely written, which means that rather than giving error, it tried to make a surmise of what you want to do. And you can write very dirty code very quickly. So, and if there is error, the errors are not taken care of properly. So it's sometimes it's vague, but it gives us power to create something dirty very quickly. And the whole idea that we want to focus here is Python as a language for non-programmers. That's what we are looking at here. Now, um, we would skip in Python a lot of things to make our ideas and code simpler and quickly execute our ideas. But Python does not go as fast as Java. So Python is like I don't know, 1/4 or 1/8 slower than Java. But you can write dirty code without getting into much syntactical complexity. And therefore they call it a loosely typed language, an interpreted language, a functional language. And the beauty about that part is that it allows you to do anything and everything, including web development, analytics, machine learning, web scraping, a little bit of blockchain. So it allows you to do a little bit of everything, whatever task you want to automate. I would also call Python the language of automation. Therefore, there are books written like automate the stuff in Python and so on. Python can also send emails. Python can build a web server in a Go and host your website, which otherwise you have to go through the whole process of Node.js and installing an independent SQL server and so on. So that's why Python is the best language to start with if this is your first language.